Ya boy Gomu saw Sonic! Our little blue rodent has caused quite a stir over the last year. From leaked promotional posters, leaked market pamphlets, and then that happened. From one internet meltdown to the next, it seemed like Sonic was just about to trip and fall across the finish line with nary a spectator in sight. It wasn't until we saw the redesigned Hog that things started actually looking up. Call it whiplash effect or whatever, but things were turning around, much in part due to the VFX team that worked tirelessly on the film. I understand one of the studios had to shut down, but from what I've researched, it's largely unrelated. So put away your torches and pitchforks and sit back down, we got a movie to get through. Now, people are saying that this sets a bad precedent, that studios are now bending to fan reaction instead of creative filmmaking. I don't really know, because to me, it seems like people, being able to use their eyeballs to detect tomfuckery of the highest caliber, and being able to voice their concerns without being told to just shut up and consume product is a good thing, especially considering these days where studios are taking adaptations and doing whatever they want to try and compete with the ever-looming presence of that other famous rat. I'm being sardonic, yes. I gotta clear out all this salt now, give me a second. So the Sonic movie, weirdly enough, had a very strong start to it. It's very dramatic, sets up the character conflict, and provides a little insight into why Sonic, played by Ben Schwartz, is the way he is. It's a shame though, because it feels like the movie speeds past it a little too fast to take it all in. After bailing on his home world, he sticks around Green Hills, Montana for the next 10 years. During this time, he learns to read, commit vandalism, partake in voyeurism, and fuck around with the town loony. He forms a particular bond with Tom Wachowski, played by James Marsden, the sheriff in this dead town who wants to move to San Francisco and be a street cop. Meanwhile, the government catches on to Sonic's antics and sends out one Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, to capture whatever the hell this thing is. Now, one of the oddest parts is that Sonic has a lot of dramatic moments to it. When the movie was first revealed, I was expecting Alvin and the Chipmunks with more action. Now, we actually have a thorough narrative and character dilemma that the film explores. I gotta admit, this is one of those rare cases where the first act is probably the best. It's heartfelt, really funny, interesting, and the character dynamic is really strong. Unfortunately, I don't think it holds that well through the rest. The rest of the film is fine, but there's a suspicious dip in quality, where the jokes start hitting you at a mile a minute, but more of them seem to not land. The character dynamic also seems to weaken slightly between Sonic and Tom, who fall ever closer into road trip buddy comedy cliches. Thankfully, around that time, the movie starts relying on its ancillary characters, which gives the movie a much needed boost. By the end, you get a film that by all means should have fallen flat on its face, but somehow managed to get to the finish line. Now again, the film isn't perfect, far from it. There are plenty of jokes that feel awkward, some of the plot feels a little contrived, and the movie kind of just forgets that the government is after Sonic, instead having Dr. Robotnik take center stage. There's also some pretty weird product placement in the film, although I admit, I laughed pretty hard when the second Olive Garden joke was made near the end of it. Yes, there are 2 Olive Garden jokes in here. It's weird how many people latched onto that. Speaking of Robotnik, nearly everyone assumed that Jim Carrey would be carrying this gargantuan thing on his back the entire time. Now that I've seen the movie, not really. I mean, yes, Jim Carrey's fantastic, but oddly enough, the whole cast has something to add. Robotnik is definitely a scene stealer, but he's not even close to the only highlight in the film. The whole cast is fantastic, and while a lot of it, again, falls into the famous character goes to the real world stereotypes, this foray feels a lot more honest. Instead of throwing Sonic into our world and going, that's good enough, the story actually bends around his feeling of isolation and loneliness. Most of the movie is supported by its extremely strong first act, and while the second dips a bit to be concerning, it pulls through by the third. Also, the film rocks some pretty sweet visuals. After the first trailer, it was hard to imagine that much of this movie would be well animated, but it cannot be overstated how much Sonic's redesign saved the film. The range of emotion that the original model had could not have conveyed the emotion that the new one does. Even the meow scene is way better because of the subtle tweaks in the character expression. The radioactive sewer rat from the first trailer would have absolutely killed this film. Some people are taking that as a negative. You are objectively wrong. Which is better, watching a character emote properly with jokes and dramatic moments, or a wet sock puppet that can barely move its eyebrows? The fast hog blazing through the streets and warping through different areas is pretty sweet to watch, and the Quicksilver moments are pretty solid as well. But again, most of the film chooses to rely on wholesome character moments and comedy to carry it forward. For the most part, it works, but I can see someone kind of getting tired in between the bigger moments of the film. All in all, you can color me surprised as hell. I've tried to keep this review from going into the whiplash effect because holy mother of God, can you imagine how much money Paramount would have lost if they didn't change the design and marketing? I'm appreciative of the extra hard work put into the film to get the job done, and I feel this sets a positive standard for a video game adaptation. It's not just because Sonic was fixed. The whole movie feels like a genuinely fun family flick with a lot of heart put into it and a lot of good comedy. But again, it still has a ways to go, as the plot feels incredibly basic and probably could have been solved if Sonic had a map at all. I think the movie could have done more with a little extra time spent on Sonic's backstory, but hey, the fact that it's as good as we got it is a straight up miracle. All in all, I'd probably label the Sonic the Hedgehog movie as around a C+, or like a 6 out of 10. Yes, according to the American education system, a 6 out of 10 is a D-, but I'm going off the idea that a 5 out of 10 for a film for me is average. There are a lot of numbers below 6. A lot of people seem to forget that. So yeah, I liked the Sonic film. Oh shit, did I say that out loud? Ah, damn it. Because if I like Sonic, I'm stupid and I don't love you. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. That ended with a bit of a sting, but you know what? I wanted to do that. Sorry. But guys, sorry about the lack of content. I'm gonna not go into the backstory for that because I feel like that should be better for another video. But anyway, let's move all that aside. Thank you guys for watching. I'd appreciate it if you did a like or a comment or all that crap. You don't have to. If you just pop by to see what a random person thought about Sonic the Hedgehog and just like, you know what? That's nice. You know what? You're nice. Thank you for watching my video. That's all I need. I mean, I would also like $1 million and, you know, a few other things. But yeah, I like your viewership.